country roads have brought us home to sweet Montgomery Field as the Mariners finally return home after an 8-game road stretch, where they finished that stretch 5-3. That was 8 games in a total of 9 days. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, live from Salina, Ohio, to bring you all the play-by-play for today's matchup between your Grand Lake Mariners and Licking County Settlers. The Settlers enter today's matchup with a record of 3-11, which, by the way, as that stands, is the worst record in the league right now. Most recently, the Settlers come off of a swept series against, and that was them being swept, not them sweeping the Locos. They were swept by the Lima Locos this past couple of games. For the Mariners, it's the opposite. They return home coming off of 2 victories versus the Jazz. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak as well, if you go back to when they played the Steam in a doubleheader. They took the final game against the Jazz yesterday, a score of 14-3 in that game, in which the ball carried well. They racked up 21 total hits, including 4 home runs, 2 of which came off the bat of Tyson Hayes. They were both 2-run blasts. One was to left field, the other was to right. We will see if the warm and sunny day here for the Mariners will continue to find a victory as they look to extend their winning streak to 4, get to 5-0 at home, and gain some ground in the Northern Division, as they currently sit at 3rd in a tie with the St. Clair Green Giants at 9-7. It's Mariners Settlers live on YouTube. I'll step aside for a brief moment, and when I return, I'll have your starting lineups and the play-by-play. You're listening to Grand Lake Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. There was the national anthem. Don't know if it came through at all on air, but it was a lovely sung there by a couple of sisters here from Salina, Ohio. Don't know if it came through. There was a malfunction with their microphone, so they didn't come through. Well, we'll go ahead and get you the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Settlers, it'll be Casimir Sobazic leading off, followed by Dylan Oat, the left fielder, Miguel Pinmetal, third baseman, cleanup hitter Garrett Roberts, the first baseman, Sam Wilson, designated hitter, batting 5th, Turner Hill, right fielder, batting 6th, batting 7th, Austin White, Cale Baker, batting 8th, he's the catcher, and then Eddie Pena, the shortstop, will be batting in the 9th hole. For your Mariners on the mound, it'll be starting lefty Josh Courier. Here is Courier's number on the year. The lefty from Mokena, Illinois. Valparaiso is where he attends college. He enters this game currently 0-2 on the year. He has a 9.81 ERA. This will be his third start. He has pitched 7 2/3 innings. He's struck out 10 and walked 4. He just has not been on the winning side of things thus far. The biggest concern with him is he has allowed 4 extra base hits thus far, but he's yet to give up a home run. For Valparaiso this past season, this spring, he had 5 games with 2 starts. He pitched a total of 8 innings with a 10.12 ERA and an 0-1 record. There's your numbers there on the starting lefty for the Mariners, wearing number 23. This will be his third start of the year. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just joining us, the Mariners coming back home after an 8-game road stretch in a total of 9 days. It's been 10 total days since we last played here at home. Those most recent games were a couple of victories against the St. Clair Green Giants 2 weeks or so ago. 2 weeks as of Saturday and Sunday. 2-man crew here for the umpire staff, of course. One calls the bases, one calls the balls and strikes behind the plate. Set the defense now here behind Courier. R.J. Williams will be out in left. Hayden Cart will be in center field. And in right field, Jaron Lovely. On third base, it'll be Mackenzie Hicks. Chris Myers at shortstop. Blake Crossing will be at second base. At third base will be Evan Spry. And Logan Adams doing the catching. So, the leadoff hitter for the Settlers steps in. Again, the Settlers enter this game 3-11, coming off of back 3 straight losses, most recently to the Lima Locos in Lima, Ohio. That'll be Kazimir Sobasic stepping in, the second baseman. He now comes up to the plate. He from Monroe Community College, Rochester, New York's his hometown. He's hitting .237 coming into this game with a .354 on-base percentage. Here comes the first pitch to him. Outside, catching the plate. Strike 1, 0-1 now the count here quickly to number 10, a left-handed batter going up against a left-handed pitcher. Courier will gather and deliver the 0-1. Low outside, ball 1-1 the count evens up now. For Sobasic, he also has 7 RBIs, and he's also stolen 7 bases. Part of the reason why he is on that leadoff spot. He can run when he gets aboard. This one bounced in the turf. 2-1 the count. Reminder here at Montgomery Field, the entire infield is artificial. There is no dirt, there is no grass on the infield. It's all turf. The outfield is natural grass. Here comes the delivery. Hit into right field. That'll be a leadoff single there for Sobasic. For Dylan Ott to come up now. Dylan Ott. He attends the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, will be entering his final season there as a senior. As Courier checks back to first and delivers the first pitch to him. Inside at the knees on the corner there. Strike 1, 0-1. Courier's got good velocity to his pitch. His fastballs. He's also got good command. Again, 10 strikeouts in his first 2 starts. Check back to first before he delivers. This one bounced in the turf, gathered up there nicely by Logan Adams. That'll hold the runner there at first. Sobasic thought about running, but he was held up with a beautiful pick and turnaround there by Logan Adams. Courier looks in. The count now 1-1 to his opponent, Ott. Here comes the first pitch to the next pitch to Ott. This one is clanked to the third baseman. Myers throws over to second for 1. Covering was Blake Crossing, and that was all they will get. They'll get the force out there on the fielder's choice. 5-4. With 1 out, and now the runner on first is Dylan Ott. It'll be Miguel Pinmetal. For Pinmetal, he attends Lee University. He's actually from San Domingo, the Dominican Republic. For Lee, he had 51 appearances this past spring with 50 starts. He's hitting currently .326 with a .423 on-base percentage for the Settlers thus far. Here comes the first pitch to him. This is hit and chopped into left field. RJ will cover that one up nicely. Williams will throw it in. That'll be a 1-out single, and runner advances to second in Dylan Ott. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Garrett Roberts, the first baseman. As quickly here, Courier is being jumped on by the Settlers. Garrett Roberts from Utica, Ohio, hitting .321 coming into this game as Courier looks in. He'll gather at the belt check back to second before delivering the first pitch. This will be hit well, and it'll get into the gap into left field. They will go ahead and send home Ott. He will score on the play. And so the Settlers will jump out here in front, and very quickly, the Settlers are making Courier's day very hard. There'll be an RBI single there for Roberts. 1-0, Settlers on top here in the top of the first. Sam Wilson, the designated hitter, steps in now. Courier may want to slow it down just a little bit. He's trying to work some tempo right now, but he's currently putting way too much of his pitches on the plate, and they're jumping out. That'll be the third single of this inning. Here comes the delivery to him. Low and inside, ball 1, 1-0 now the count. For Wilson from Dublin, Ohio, he attends Wabash Valley, where he had 45 appearances and 28 starts this past season. Courier will check back to second before gathering at the belt and deliver. Knee-high fastball on the inside corner. 1-1 now the count evens up. Wilson is hitting .404 coming into this game with a .466 on-base percentage, 6 RBIs, 4 extra base hits, which includes a home run. 1-0 the score here. Courier will check back to second, deliver the 1-1 pitch. Just a bit inside, ball 2. Courier looks in for his sign. We'll check back to second and deliver the pitch. This will be low and in the turf. Blocked up there nicely by Adams. The count runs to 3-1. You can definitely tell now Courier is trying to avoid putting too much of the pitch on the plate. However, now he's struggling with finding the zone, being a little bit too cautious. Now here comes the 3-1 pitch. This one will be popped high, back, and out of play. Count runs full at 3-2. Runner on second is Miguel Pimentel, and Garrett Roberts with the RBI single stands on first. Courier will look in to get his sign from Logan Adams. As the right-handed Sam Wilson, right-handed hitting Sam Wilson is at the plate. Here comes the pitch. This one will be grounded and runs foul down the third base line. So the count remains full at 3-2. For Wilson, by the way, 6 RBIs for Wabash Valley this past season. Had 45 appearances with 28 starts, hitting .300 with 19 RBIs. And he will draw a walk, and the bases are loaded. Turner Hill will now step in with 1 out. 1-0 the score now as the right fielder steps in. He will be batting left, wearing number 2. For Hill, he enters this game hitting .248 with a .327 on-base percentage, 4 RBIs. Has a chance to increase that number here against Courier, who would just love a double play ball to get out of this inning with minimal damage. And this one is hit well, and this will score at least 1 as it gets out into right field. Struggle to pick up there by Lovely, rounding second and heading home, and scoring will be Garrett Roberts. It is now 3-0, as it is now a 2 RBI single there by Hill. Sam Wilson remains on second, and very quickly Courier has lost control in this first inning. That was the 4th hit in this inning for the Settlers. There's only 1 out, 3-0 now the score after the 2 RBI single there. I'm going to bring up center fielder Austin White steps in now. White has yet to record a hit, but he is a .154 on-base percentage. He can draw walks. He does have an RBI off a walk as well. From Fresno, as here comes the first pitch to him. This one is hit right to Blake Crossing. Steps on second for 1, throws over to first for the second. It will be a 4-3 double play. In this inning, 3 runs score on a total of 4 hits. No errors. There was 1 runner left on base. Mariners trailing 3-0, but they've yet to have a chance to let their bats do their work. We'll talk about the starting pitcher for the Settlers and the lineup for the Mariners when we return. You're listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. So the starting pitcher for the Settlers as they come out with a 3-0 lead is Oscar Carvela. Their starting righty. He will be going up against the lineup that looks like this for the Mariners. Hayden Cart, center fielder, will be leading off. Evan Spry will be batting second, playing first base. And Chris Myers, the shortstop, batting third. Jake McCall, designated hitter, will be batting cleanup. Batting fifth will be Logan Adams. R.J. Williams, left fielder, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Jaron Lovely. Mackenzie Hicks, third baseman, batting eighth. And then batting ninth, Blake Crossing. And so for Oscar Caravel, he will be looking here to defend that 3-0 lead his team gave him at the top of this inning. Let's go ahead and discuss now Hayden Cart, the leadoff hitter, wearing number 44, right-handed batter. Center fielder enters this game hitting .250 with a .268 on-base percentage. From the University of Charleston, entering his second year there at Charleston, sports business major from Grove City, Ohio. For Charleston, he had 42 appearances with 34 starts, hitting .336 with 32 RBIs, 6 home runs, and 6 doubles. Before Charleston, he attended Grove City High School, where he was a 2-year starter, hit .408 and was a first-team All-State and All-District selections over his time there. As Cart steps in, batting right. Here comes the first pitch to him. Low, ball one. 1-0 now the count. A little bit different look in the lineup here, of course. If I have yet to mention it, Ryan Stacy currently on the DL with a strained oblique as Cart chops this one to the third baseman, making the throw over to first. Cart will be retired. 5-3 the play there. Going to bring up the first baseman, Evan Spry, with one away. He'll be the number 2 hitter playing first base here today. Spry hitting .302 with a .412 on-base percentage. Terrence Creighton from Janesville, Wisconsin. For Creighton this past year had 12 appearances with 5 starts. As Carvela delivers the first pitch to him, catches the outside of the zone, strike one. 0-1 now the count here to Spry. A little bit more on the Stacy injury. He's got a little bit of a sore oblique, so he's going to take some time off, just kind of rest that. Fortunately, one of the better hitters for the Mariners. His impact will be missed as pitch number 2 misses outside. Count goes to 1-1 here to Spry. So we see who can step up and provide the RBIs and, of course, the home runs that Stacy's provided. Of course, you know, as Spry looks here at pitch number 2, just catching the outside of the plate there, 1-2. And Carvela is very quickly working that tempo that Josh Courier tried to deliver. Except for him, it seems to be working here, at least for the first out. And now he's going for a second one. It's count 1-2, the pitch to him. This one will be tapped. Stop there. Diving play by the shortstop will not be good on the throw there. So a 1-out infield single for Spry. He will get aboard with 1 out. Mariners still trailing, though, 3-0. As now Chris Myers, the shortstop, steps on. For Myers, he's hitting .261 with a .352 on-base percentage coming into this one. He attends the University of Toledo, entering his second season there as a business major. This past spring for Toledo, he had 41 starts, hitting .278, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, and a stretch in which he reached base 21 straight times. Throwback here to first, no pitch. Diving in safely will be Spry, the first baseman. By the way, if you're curious about Spry's ability to run, he does have 4 stolen bases on the year already. We'll see if they choose to use him to run. Fastball a little bit low and outside. Ball 1 here to Chris Myers, the shortstop. At bat now. Again, Myers from Miamisburg, Ohio, where he attended Miamisburg High School. As here comes the next pitch to him. This one is hit high into center field, running back, and coming under at the fence is the center fielder, White, and that will retire Myers. And that one was right at the fence, folks, and he actually was not underneath it to begin with. He actually had to move over towards left field to try to get that one, but now 2 outs with a runner on first. Evan Spry, that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jake McCall. McCall wearing number 50 from Bloomington, Illinois, as he cracks this one off his bat and foul. 0-1 now the count quickly here to McCall, hitting .242 with a .405 on-base percentage and 9 RBIs coming into this game. He attends Illinois State University, where he had 14 appearances with 12 starts, hitting .182 this past spring. Here comes the next pitch to him, low and in the turf. Blocked up there nicely by the catcher. And Baker, count runs even now at 1-1. Look in here, the gather by Carvella, and the 1-1 pitch. Low and in the turf. They will appeal. Did he go? They say he did. 1-2 now to McCall. Mariners trailing 3-0 here. Only in the bottom of the first, though. Still plenty of time. See if Josh Courier can come out and have a better second inning. As here comes the next pitch to McCall. Swung on and missed. Down goes swinging is McCall. That will retire the side. No runs scored on the one hit. No errors. And the one man left on base. 3-0 the score. Mariners trailing here at home. We will now head to the top of the second, due up for the visiting Settlers. It will be Cale Baker, Eddie Pena, and then the top of the order, and Kazimir Sobasic at the top of the second. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Courier returns to the mound for his second inning of work. He allowed 3 runs on a total of 4 singles back in the top of the first. We'll see if he can have a little bit more control here in the top of the second. Cale Baker, Eddie Pena, and then Kazimir Sobasic due up for the Settlers. Cale Baker is the catcher today. For Baker, wearing number 34, he attends Cincinnati. He's from Blacklick, Ohio. At Cincinnati, he'll be entering his second season. This past spring, he had 14 appearances with 5 starts. He only hit .074 with 2 RBIs and a .219 on-base percentage. On the season, he's hitting .200 with a .317 on-base percentage. He does have 3 home runs to go along with a couple of doubles as well. 16, or correction, I'm reading the wrong person. It's actually still 5 extra base hits, including 3 home runs, but only 6 RBIs, as this is missing outside for Courier. Ball 1. Right-handed batter in the catcher. As Courier steps on, delivers the 1-0 pitch. This one will be popped high and will get out of play. Count runs to 1-1, even up. Again, for Courier, 0-2 record thus far on the season, looking for his first win. And this is his 3rd start, as this one is cut on and missed there. Count now goes to 1-2 to Baker. No strikeouts in the first inning for Courier. He does have that potential, though, again. Has 10 strikeouts on the season. As he delivers this one here a little bit high. Ball 2, the count evens up at 2-2 to Baker. Courier will look in, step on, and deliver the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called right at the knees. Fastball delivers, and down looking goes Cale Baker. There's one away. That'll bring up Eddie Pena, the shortstop. Pena wearing number 1 from Woodlake, California, from Fresno State, entering his final season there. On the season thus far for Pena, as he hits this first one off his bat into center field, and it'll land for a base hit. Cart tried to come in, but it'll be a 1-out single for Pena, who was hitting 224 coming into this game. Then I'll head to the 1-1 man Kazimir Sobasic, who got the inning started for the Settlers back in the first before he was caught out on a fielder's choice off the bat of Ott. A ground ball here could deliver a double play, as here is a bunt thrown over to first. It does its job, as Sabasic will ground into a sacrifice bunt there that advances the runner to second into scoring position.
2 outs, runner at second. That'll bring up number 2 hitter and left fielder. In the spring, he plays for the Titans.
That was 1-3. That'll bring up Ott. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a fielder's choice back in the first. Grounded to third. That got thrown over to second. That got Sabasic out. With 2 outs now, runner on second. We'll see how this goes, as this is on the inside of the plate here to Ott. Strike 1. 0-1 now the count. Courier trying to pitch around a 1-out single that is now on second due to the sacrifice bunt. Looked right about the same spot, but they'll call this one inside. The count runs even now at 1-1. Courier to Ott, the left fielder. For Ott, hitting .333 coming into this game with a .446 on-base percentage. Wisconsin Oshkosh is where he attends, as this one missing high. Ball 2, 2-1 now the count here to Ott. This past spring for Ott, he had 41 appearances, hit .349 with 29 RBIs and 3 home runs and 15 stolen bases. Here comes the delivery to Ott. This will be inside, but catches the plate there. 2-2, and it's that spot that was called strike 1 and then called ball 1. Count now evened up here at 2-2. Courier will try to get Ott out here and retire the side as he gathers check back to second. Here comes the delivery. This one will be popped high into right center field. Lovely will come in, make the catch, and that will retire the side. There'll be an F9 there. So no run score on the 1 hit, no errors. The 1 man left on base. Mariners still trailing 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Still early in this one. We'll see what they can do here in the bottom of the second. Due up is Logan Adams, R.J. Williams, and Jaron Lovely for the Grand Lake Mariners. Thank you for listening here on YouTube. I'll be right back. So, returning to the mound for the visitors will be Oscar Carvela, the starting righty. Got through a pretty efficient first inning, only allowing the 1 hit. No runs scored after that. He also recorded a strikeout to end the inning on Jake McCall. Logan Adams, R.J. Williams, and Ryan Stacy, Jaron Love, lead 2 up. It is currently 85 here in Salina, Ohio. Feels like 88, though, on the heat index with a 53% humidity. Sun continues to set. Logan Adams will now step in, batting right for the Mariners here today. 3-0 the score. Mariners trailing early goings here at home. As Carvela will deliver the first pitch to Adams. It'll be a knee-high fastball, strike 1, 0-1 the count. For Adams, he comes into this game hitting .321 with a .432 on-base percentage, as here comes the second pitch to him. He cuts and misses. Quickly, he's down in the count now, 0-2. Adams has 4 RBIs and a stolen base also, with 1 double as well. Man out of Dartmouth College, entering his second season there. Engineering major. He had 9 appearances, went 4 for 8 from the plate for Dartmouth this past spring. Decent break to the ball right there, but missing outside. Ball 1, 1-2 now the count here. A look in here by Carvela. He will gather at the waist. The starting righty will deliver the 1-2. This one missing inside as well. Ball 2, the count evens up at 2-2. Adams trying to draw another walk here. Again, 432 on base percentage. He knows how to take his walks as well as get the hits. We'll see what he can do here with the 2-2 count. Knee-high fastball. He'll go down looking. Second strikeout, including back-to-back now. Logan Adams will be the first out. 3-0 still the score. That'll bring up R.J. Williams, the left fielder. 250 on the year with a 438 on base percentage and 1 RBI. Man out of Bowling Green State University, entering his final season there, communications major. For the Falcons this past year, he had 39 appearances with 22 starts, hit 288 with 3 RBIs. Batting left here, he will be delivered to. He'll chop this one to the backstop. Count will go to 0-1. For Williams, his on-base percentage is 438 because his first 3 at-bats of the season, again, he joined the team late, were 3 straight walks, and then he since has then kind of that crooked number since evened out, but he still does a good job of taking his walks as he will swing and miss at a very low fastball there. News he shouldn't have swung at it. That's just a case of me saying he was patient and then him not being patient. Count now runs 0-2 to him. As Carvella will deliver the 0-2 pitch to him. He'll swing and miss, but they'll say he just got a piece of it to stay alive. 0-2. And so Carvella will step back on, gets a new ball as well, as R.J. Williams will step back in. Look in here, gets the sign, and the delivery. 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1, 1-2 now, and RJ's got to work his way back into this count now here until he either gets a pitch he wants to swing at and could deliver for a base hit, or work it full and get a walk, but that's a little bit farther away now as he's only got a 1-2 pitch here now to him. Strike 3 called at the knees on the outside corner. R.J. Williams not happy with the call, but he will go down looking as well. That'll be the 3rd strikeout in a row here for Carvella. That'll bring up Jaron Lovely with 2 away. 3-0. Mariners still trailing here at home. Jaron Lovely, the right fielder for the day, made that catch to retire the side back in the top of the second as he delivers here a high fly ball to right field. Coming in as the center fielder and making the catch, and the side will go in order for the Mariners here in the bottom of the second. No errors, no runs, no hits, no men left on base. Mariners trailing 3-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd. Due up for the Settlers, it will be Miguel Pinmetal, Garrett Roberts, and Sam Wilson. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So leading off will be Miguel Pinmetal. Pinmetal will be going up against Josh Courier, coming out for his 3rd inning of work. Had a lot better 2nd inning than he did the 1st. Pinmetal is 1 for 1 on the day with a single back in the 2nd. That set up the RBI single by the man who will follow him, and Garrett Roberts, as he swings and cuts on the first pitch here. It'll go back and foul. 0-1 now the count here quickly to Pinmetal. And Pinmetal, the man out of Leah from San Domingo, as this one is low, ball 1, 1-1. Of course, the Dominican Republic hitting .326 coming into this day. 51 appearances for Lee University with 50 starts, hitting 372 as here comes the second pitch to him. Third pitch to him, chopped towards the first baseman in Spry. He will be retired for the first time today. That'll be an unassisted ground out there. That'll bring up Garrett Roberts. RBI single his last time up in the first, his only time up, making him 1 for 1 on the day. He drove in Dylan Ott on that one. And he gave the first of 3 runs to the visiting Settlers as they lead 3-0. Courier steps on, looks in, delivers the first pitch. Good pitch there, catching the plate. Strike one. 0-1 now the count. Go ahead and get you some updates from some scores around the Great Lake Summer Leagues. Courier steps on and delivers the first pitch. Knee-high fastball there, actually the second pitch. Now 0-2 the count quickly here to Roberts. Cincinnati Steam beat the Southern Ohio Copperheads 7-5 in a doubleheader game number 1, as this one missing here. Ball 1, 1-2 now the count. Muskegon Clippers and Lima Locos tied in the bottom of the second at no runs apiece. In the bottom of the second, Lake Erie Monarchs at home against the Saginaw Sugar Beets, same results. As this one bounces out in the turf, evens up the count now at 2-2. Courier to Roberts. Top of the third, Irish Hill Leprechauns at home against the St. Clair Green Giants. No score there. Top of the second, same thing for Xenia Scouts at home against the Richmond Jazz. No score. Hamilton Joes have a 4-1 lead in Galleon against the Graders, as this one missing here low and outside. Ball 3, count runs full at 3-2. 4-0 Joes on top on the road over the Graders. That's a score of 4-1. And that's the standings that's the results currently in this game. As low, a walk there for Roberts. He'll get on base safely for the second time, and this time with 1 out in the top of the third. That'll bring up Sam Wilson. He was walked his last time up. No official at bat on the day, but he did walk for the designated hitter. Wilson wearing number 28 from Dublin, Ohio, Wabash Valley. That's where he attends. 404 hitting percentage with a 466 on-base percentage. This one chopped. It'll get out into left field, so another hit here as R.J. Williams will have to come in, gather that one up, throws it into the infield. That'll advance Roberts over to second. So a single here for Wilson. He quickly adds himself to the hit column. That'll bring up the right fielder, Turner Hill. He had a 2 RBI single in his last time up in a very similar situation, except the bases were loaded back then. No man on third, but with a man on first, man on second. 3-0 the score. Turner will be looking for a second base hit to get possibly another RBI, as Courier will look back to second here and deliver the first pitch to the lefty. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Knee-high fastball called a strike anyway. 0-1 now the count. For the man on second in Garrett Roberts, he does not have a stolen base, nor does he really look like your typical base stealer. He has more of the power hitter build, so I don't expect him to try to run. But you never know. Sometimes if he can get a favorable count, as this one is outside or wild pitch, you never know, as this one outside low, ball 1, 1-1 now the count here. Courier to Hill. Courier will look in for his sign, gather at the waist, check back to second before delivering. A bunt shown here. Running in will be Hicks, throws over to first. The bunt will be in time. And also falling off the base was Hill. So now the bases are loaded with only 1 out, as the bunt there works for Hill. That'll bring up Austin White, grounded into a double play his last time up, and I'm sure Courier now looking at his second bases loaded situation in 3 innings here at work so far. He'll be looking to try to get another double play out of the right-handed hitter, center fielder. Courier will look in for his sign. He will gather, check back, and deliver. This will be grounded right to the shortstop, over to second for 1, back to first for 2. And that will retire the side. The second straight time that White has grounded into a double play. This was 6-4-3. No run scores on that play. 3-0. And Courier will get himself out of a bases loaded jam. You're listening to Mariners baseball as they currently trail 3-0. here, heading to the bottom of the third. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So leading off this inning for the Mariners, in the bottom of the third we go. Mackenzie Hicks, then Blake Crossing, and Hayden Cart due up here as the Mariners trail 3-0. Returning back out to the mound will be number 27, Oscar Carvella. Oscar Caravel, actually, is how it's pronounced. Caravel will be trying to get through his third inning of work here untouched. He had a 1-2-3 inning, including a couple of strikeouts. Both of them were looking back in the second. Caravel looks in, gathers at the waist, and delivers the first pitch here to Hicks, the right-handed batter. Inside, knee-high fastball catches the corner there. 0-1 now the count quickly here to Hicks. Caravel is working a very efficient going here. They'll try to carry him as long as it goes because the bullpen has been somewhat of an issue as this one is bounced out in front of the plate. Count runs even at 1-1. Bullpen has really been somewhat of an issue for the Settlers. They've got a couple of guys up there in ERA, including one with an 18, a couple with a 27, and then a couple with a 22 as well. So they don't want to try to get into the bullpen too early. As Hicks looked like a little bit low and inside, but it'll be called strike 2, 1-2. The strike zone has been a little bit now extended here in this. Here comes the delivery. This will be hit by Hicks right to the shortstop, though. Gathering it up, throwing it over to first. Hicks cannot beat it out. It'll be Pena to Roberts, 6-3. And that will retire batter number 1 for the Mariners. That'll bring up Blake Crossing, the second baseman now. Switch hitter who will be batting left against the righty here. The man out of Dartmouth College. He plays basically anywhere in the infield. We've seen him on first, second, or we've seen him on second, short, and third. I'm sure he could play first if needed, but they haven't had to. Here comes the first pitch to him. This one will be hit. It'll be right to the shortstop again, thrown over to first, and it'll go 6-3 again as Crossing goes down on the first pitch. They're now 2 away. Mariners still trailing 3-0, and it looks like in the early goings here, at least, the bats have cooled off. Go back to the top of the order now, and Hayden Cart grounded out his first time up here today. He is 0 for 1. He'll get his second plate appearance. So a check-in here by Caravel, and this one will bounce out in front of the plate and get away from this catcher there. But it really doesn't matter because there's nobody on base for the Mariners, so he doesn't need to chase. Check-in here by Caravel as he gets his sign from Baker, the starting catcher. He will set himself. Cart, the right-handed batter, will get the first pitch. This one is hit high into right, goes into foul territory, and gets out of play. Count runs even now at 1-1 to Cart. Cart at home is hitting .083 as he cuts and misses here. 1-2 now the count. So for Cart hitting .183 at home, a number he would love to see improve on this one. As he cuts and misses here, he'll go down swinging, and the side will go in order for the second straight time for the Mariners. Struggling to find their second hit here. No run score, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We will now head to the top of the fourth. Mariners trailing 3-0 here at home. Still plenty of time, though. Due up for the Settlers, it will be Cale Baker, Eddie Pena, and Kazimierz Sobasic. I'll step aside. When I come back, more play-by-play baseball here from Montgomery Field. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So, leading up will be now Cale Baker. He struck out looking his last time up for the Settlers. Josh Currier will return to the mound. He has gotten better here in the early goings, but he did allow 2 singles in the last inning before getting in a bases-loaded situation before getting a double play to get out of it. We'll see what he can do here against the leadoff hitter and catcher, Cale Baker. Again, 0 for 1 on the day as he delivers the first pitch to him. This will be hit high into center field. It carries, and it is out of here. So, a leadoff homer there for Baker. It'll be his 4th of the year. And now the Mariners are trailing 4-0 on 1 pitch here. And it's just not the day here for Currier. So 4-0, Eddie Pena will now step up with nobody out, nobody on. He's 1 for 1 with a single back in his first appearance back in the 2nd inning. We'll see if Currier will have a little bit better luck here, but so far, as this is ball low, 1-0 the count now. There are 2 players in this lineup yet to receive a hit, as this one is popped high into shallow left. Coming out will be Chris Myers. He will make the catch there. That will retire Pena with 1 out, 4-0 to score. Mariners struggling here at home. Perhaps they've forgotten after 8 games how to play a little bit at home, but still early here in this one. We're only in the top of the 4th. They still got plenty of time to try to come back. But in a place where they're 4-0, they would love to try to get that improved. Here comes Currier delivering a low fastball below the knees. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Again, the Licking County Settlers 3-11. Their most recent win came 4 games ago, as showing bunt, pulling it back as it's outside. Ball 2, 2-0 now the count here. The batter is Kazimierz Sobasic. He is 1 for 2 in the day thus far, as this one bounces out in front of the plate. Count runs to 3-0, and Currier in danger of walking his second batter of the day. Actually, his 3rd of the day. The first one was Sam Wilson. Second one was Garen Roberts. Check in here. Gathered by Currier. He will deliver to the left-handed hitter, Sobasic. Knee high at the corner on the outside. Ball, strike 1. 3-1 now the count here quickly. Quickly and surely, Currier will be trying to get back into this count. Check here. 3-1 pitch. At the knees, and it looked like Sobasic was ready to take his base, but now the count runs full at 3-2. Here's a gather and deliver the 3-2 payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. 3rd walk issued here today by Currier. There's 1 out with a runner on first. That'll bring up Dylan Ott, the left fielder. He is 0 for 2, most grounded into a fielder's choice, and then flew out to right his most recent time up in the 2nd. He is one of two hitters for the Settlers not to record a hit in this game. The only other one is Austin White, who grounded into 2 double plays already in just 2 plate appearances. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Count now runs to 0-2 here to Ott, who Courier will be trying to retire for the 3rd straight time. A look in. Gather at the belt. Check back here. And the delivery. Runner goes as this one is tapped over to third. Hicks will throw over to first. The throw will be just a little bit late. It had to be a deep throw there, so an infield single for Ott. He'll get his base hit, and now that just leaves 1 man left to get a base hit here off of Courier. Gonna bring up the number 3 hitter, Miguel Pimento will be third baseman player. He is 1 for 2, grounded it out to first his most recent time up, back in the 3rd. Has a single as part of that bases loaded 3-run first inning for the Settlers, as this one is cut on and missed. Strike 1 quickly here. Runner on first, runner on second. With a 1 out here. 4-0, Mariners trailing on the road, or trailing at home, as a check in here by Courier. He will gather at the waist, check back to second, and deliver the pitch. This is low and outside. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count here to Pimento. Kazimir Sabasic can run, and now we're going to have a meeting on the mound here between the second baseman crossing, Damon Hacker, the head coach, and Logan Adams, the catcher. Just kind of have a conversation here. What they're going to discuss, perhaps a little bit of a try to get that double play ball if you can, but don't allow the run, and don't give him anything too juicy to swing at. And now the meeting is over. Crossing will go back to his defensive position. Logan Adams will get back behind the plate, and Hacker will head back out to the dugout. I check in. The gather at the waist. Look back to second, and the delivery. Knee-high fastball called strike 2. 1-2 now the count here to Miguel Pimento. Pimento 1 for 2 on the day. Single in the first. Grounded out to first in the 3rd inning, as Courier will gather the 1-2 pitch in his glove. A check back here to second, and will deliver. 1 low and in the dirt. Blocked up there nicely by Adams to keep it out in front of him, though it does roll pretty far away from him, but he'll gather it up. The runners will hold. Again, both Sabasic with 7 stolen bases already on the season, and then Ott with 4. They are both threats to run if they find the favorable pitch. This one is delivered, chopped back there by Pimento. Pimento will have a 2-2 count here. Evened up. Settlers enjoying a score in which they are not accustomed to. They are not used to leading, so we'll see if they can hold on. So here comes Courier's pitch to him, low and in the dirt. There. Count runs full at 3-2. Courier has just struggled with the command, something we have not seen from him. Usually his issue has been putting it too much on the plate and giving guys something to swing at. Do believe there might be somebody up warming up in the bullpen for the Mariners. Runners go on the 3-2 pitch. This is a high fly ball out to center. Cart will come underneath. Runners have to come back, and they will both get back in time because they were off and running and both had already reached the next bases. So they both scamper back, and just in time will be Sabasic to second. There are now 2 out here after the F8 there. That'll bring up Garrett Roberts. He is 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI single back in the first. He drew a walk in the 3rd. He'll be trying to get on base for the 3rd time here today in his many plate appearances. Adams, as we and they will say that a little bit confused on the ruling here, but somehow one way or another Sabasic will be called out. We'll get a confirmation on what the call there was in, but the inning is over as 4-0 now. The Mariners trailing. They've also given up 9 hits thus far We'll get confirmation on what the call was here in a second, but you're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So we will now head to the bottom of the fourth. Mariners on top here in the, or Mariners actually trailing 4-0 here. Was a solo run, home run by Baker that brought it to 4-0. So I finally got the ruling as to why that Savasic was called out. What happened is he had already rounded third on the fly out by Pinmeadow. He had already rounded third and started heading home. On his way back to second, he did not touch third base. So Courier was able to throw the ball over to Mackenzie Hicks covering at third. He just tossed it back over, and that was how that inning ended. So now we head with the Mariners at bat as strike one is called here to Evan Spry, number 42. For Spry, he is 1 for 1 on the day with a single with 1 out back in the first. He will get his second plate appearance. He's got an 0-1 count here from Caravel, the starting righty. This one, I guess, just catches the plate. There, quickly in the count, 0-2 is Spry. Trying to figure out the zone here, but it keeps fluctuating from this umpire. Calling balls and strikes is hard to do, and we've seen it before where the zone seems to fluctuate. As here comes the next pitch to Spry. He'll foul this one off, not wanting to take any chances. The count remains at 0-2. With nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Spry, the leadoff man, again had that single back in the first. This will be his second plate appearance as Caravel will gather in his glove at the waist, deliver, and fouled off here by Spry. Could not get his barrel of the bat to the ball. He foul tips that to the backstop. Count remains at 0-2. So the catcher chased that one down just to get it back to the umpire. And says, go ahead, Caravello, you can get your next pitch and get ready to deliver here to the left-handed Spry. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to him. He cuts and misses. That'll be the 5th strikeout of the day here for Caravel, and that will retire Spry. He goes to 1-2 on the day. That'll bring up Chris Myers, the shortstop. He is 0 for 1 from the University of Toledo, the Rocket Man for this roster. He bats left as well. He'll be trying to get something going here with 1 out. Mariners trailing 4-0 here in the bottom of the fourth at home. Something they're not accustomed to doing is trailing at home. As he looks at a first pitch outside, ball 1. 1-0 now the count to him. Look in here by Myers. He gathers at the belt. Delivers the 1-0 pitch. Outside again. Ball 2. 2-0 now the count. Two outs with 1 out. 2-0 now the count here to Myers, trying to get on base for the first time. He's 0 for 1 already, batting left here. And he stands pretty deep in the batter's box as well as he pops this one high into foul territory towards the bullpen, and running it down and making the catch will be Ott. So that will retire Myers in foul territory. He will fly out. That'll be 2 outs now, and that'll bring up the 3rd hitter in the inning. Jake McCall struck out swinging. He was the first strikeout victim to Caravel. Caravel looking for his first win on the year. A little bit early to start talking about that, but he's got a comfortable 4-0 lead against Mariners, who can't seem to find any sort of business here at home. As on the first pitch, McCall swings right towards the shortstop. 6-3, the Mariners go in order here in the bottom of the fourth. They still trail 4-0 as we now head to the top of the fifth. We'll listen to Mariners baseball right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. So leading off for Licking County in this inning, Josh Courier returns for his 5th inning of work. It'll be Garrett Roberts. He is 1 for 1 with a walk in the 3rd and an RBI single in the 1st. He'll be trying to get a boy for his 3rd straight time. He had stepped in before the confusing play that ended that inning. This will be an inside at the knees fastball, catching the corner there, 0-1. He actually stepped into his right-handed batter's box before Dylan Ott was called out. As this is also right there at the knees inside, 0-2 now the count here quickly to Roberts. Actually, it was Sebastiak who was called out after he had rounded 3rd and tried to head back to 2nd. Didn't tag 3rd as he headed back to 2nd as this one is hit. And that'll be a leadoff single here as he rounds 2nd and actually he rounded 1st and actually tried to head to 2nd, but not a lot of speed there for Roberts. He will scamper back to 1st. That'll be the 3rd straight time he reaches the bags. That'll be his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a leadoff single. That'll bring up Sam Wilson 1 for 1 with a walk in the 1st and then a single in the 3rd. He steps in batting right. Courier, the left-handed batter, struggling here again in the 5th inning. As this one right off the bat into center field on the 1st pitch, gathered up there by Cart. And so still with nobody out, back-to-back singles to lead off the inning for the Settlers. That'll bring up a 2 for 2 man, and Turner Hill with a couple of singles, 1 carry, 2 RBIs back in the 1st. He will now step in, trying to get his 3rd base hit. And with a runner in scoring position, we'll see if he can possibly get the 5th run for the Settlers, who are enjoying a comfortable lead here against the Mariners, who offensively have not been able to get anything rolling. Shows bunt, but it's a high fastball. He pulls it back. Ball 1, 1-0 now the count here. Courier to Turner. I don't hear anybody warming up in the bullpen yet for the Mariners, but if this continues for Courier, his day might be cut short in this 5th inning of work now. He's yet to record an out. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Shows bunt, outside corner at the knees. Strike 1. 1-1 now the count here. We'll see what's the sign here for Hill. Might be showing bunts again as he has the past 2. Courier will check back to 2nd. But again, Roberts not your typical base runner as this one's in the dirt. Blocked up there nicely by Adams. The count runs to 2-1. Sam Wilson on 1st, Roberts on 2nd. Both of those men on the bags for the 3rd time here today. Courier will look in. He will deliver to the lefty. This one will be hit high off the bat into left center. R.J. Williams will come underneath it and make the catch. That will retire the 1st batter. Roberts will return to 2nd. Wilson return to 1st. There's one away on the F7. After back-to-back singles, Courier will be trying to get out of this one as he records the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Austin White. He's the only Settlers hitter not to record a hit here in this game. He grounded into 2 double plays thus far, and I'm sure Courier will be looking to do the same here, get him to ground to the 3, but what are the odds of that happening as Courier will check back to 2nd and deliver the 1st pitch. This will be chopped right to the shortstop. What are the odds? Here comes 1 over to 1st for the 2nd. What are the odds? Apparently they were very good as he grounds into his 3rd double play. Once again, it'll be 6-4-3, and that will retire the side. No run score on the 2 hits, no errors. The 1 man was left on base. You really seen the Mariners baseball here on YouTube. They trail 4-0 at home. We'll see if they can get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Caravel will return back out to the mound. He's got 2 more warm-up pitches here as the Settlers try to defend that 4-0 lead on 11 hits. Mariners only able to get 1 hit. It was off of Evan Spry's bat back in the first with 1 out. Other than that, Mariners have failed to get anything going. They just have struggled. But let's see if Logan Adams, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in his first at-bat, will try to get things going, batting right here against the starting righty. Uncharacteristic of the Mariners here at home, at a place where they hit 273 so far on the year, but the sample size only 4 games, where they're 4-0 in all those games. 2.50 ERA for the pitching staff as a whole at home, but as this one missing inside, ball 1 to Logan Adams, the starting catcher of the day. He's trying to come up against Tyson Hayes' batting average that he put up yesterday. Tyson Hayes with 3 hits yesterday. He started the catcher. Logan Adams sat that one out. We'll see if Adams can try to do what his counterpart did, as he has a 2-0 count here to him from Caravel. Here comes the next pitch to him. This will be low as well. Ball 3. Adams trying to draw a walk and only be the second base runner for the Mariners. Mariners have only had 1 base runner thus far on the day. This is kind of like what we saw in Lima, where they struggled to get anybody on base in that first game especially, as Adams will get the 3-0 pitch. This will be a favorable call here for Caravel. Again, on a 3-0 count, the pitcher is going to get a favorable call unless it's a blatant ball. 3-1 now the count here to Adams, the right-handed batter to the right-handed pitcher. This one is chopped down, and it will dribble out and stay fair. They were going to go ahead and see if they could not play that one off and see if it would roll foul. Adams had took off towards first. That'll be the second base hit on an infield single for Adams. You know, sometimes those balls, they'll just kind of roll foul. This one stayed fair as both the catcher and the pitcher and third baseman stood over it. Meanwhile, Adams had gone to first. So he'll be a leadoff single for him. R.J. Williams struck out looking his last time up on a call he did not agree with, batting left against the righty. We'll see what he can do as Caravel will deliver the first pitch to him. Low, ball 1. 1-0 now the count. And let's see, Caravel might have lost his command. Again, that hit off of Adams, it was chopped down and then rolled fair, and then it stayed fair. So he's on base. 1-0 count here now to Williams, the man at the plate. Here comes the pitch to him. This will catch the outside of the zone there. Ball, strike 1. 1-1 now the count here, evened up to Williams, the man out of Bowling Green State University, where he studies communications in his final season this coming spring. A check-in here by Caravel before he delivers. Williams shows bunt. Adams was thinking about running because it was going to be a sacrifice situation. Actually, R.J. Williams can run, so could have possibly have been no sacrifice if he caught him off guard. He pulls it back, though, as it was a ball. 2-1 now the count here to Williams. Caravel will gather hit at the belt and deliver the 2-1 pitch. Hit well, but will go foul towards the Settlers bullpen on the third base line. Count runs even at 2-2 to Williams. Mariners on the first base dugout here below me, as my press box is above that first base dugout. I'm about halfway between home plate and the first base. As here comes the 2-2 pitch. Adams is off and running. Swung on and missed. Adams will cut and turn back to first. R.J. Williams will strike out for the second time here today. That'll work up Jaron Lovely. He flew out to center back in the second, his only time up. He's 0 for 1. He's got a runner on first with 1 out. We'll see what he can do. Jaron Lovely here at home is hitting .357. We'll see if he can improve that average here as he looks at a fastball on the outside. 1-0. For Lovely, wearing number 43, does hit .273 coming into this game. He'll be very patient here, though, as he swings at this one, pops it back. Count runs even at 1-1. I'm going to stop saying guys are patient, because every time I say they're patient, they end up swinging at a pitch that possibly shouldn't have been swung at. This one, he just didn't get the barrel of the bat to the ball. For Lovely, though, he does have that .396 on-base percentage as he swings at one in the turf. So he's not being patient here. Count runs to 1-2. Lovely has yet to record a second extra base hit. No home runs for him. His only extra base hit was a double. Well, Logan Adams is a very athletic catcher, so we'll see if a good solid base hit here, and if he's off and running, as this one misses outside, count runs even to 2-2. If a good jump from Adams, he could be scored by first if it's a deep enough hit. But right now, you just want to see if Lovely cannot get on base, be the third base runner and the third hit for the Mariners. 2-2 count here. Cravella to Lovely, who delivers. This one will be popped high. Goes left field side and out of play past the third base dugout. Count still even up at 2-2 with one out. Runner on first, Logan Adams. Lovely. The man in the left-handed batter's box going up against the right-handed Cravella. Here comes the delivery to him. This one is tapped right at the second baseman. Throw over to first for one, back to first for two. And Lovely will just beat out the throw, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Adams is removed from the base, but only 2 outs now as Lovely gets aboard. And Lovely would be more likely a man to try to steal with. He is an outfielder. He does have 2 stolen bases. Logan Adams has 1, but you're more likely to run with an outfielder. That was, by the way, 6-4 the play. That's just been that kind of day. The Mariners have not been able to get really hard contact. It's just something that happens in baseball. Some days you get solid contact, like yesterday. 21 hits. It seemed like the Mariners could not miss the ball. Here today, they're just not getting solid contact. By the way, Hicks now 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to short his last time up, playing third baseman. Hicks calls time. Actually, they'll call it a balk. So, Lovely will be able to take second. He's in scoring position. Let's see if Hicks can do something with it. Hicks, normally a pitcher for the Mariners, but he will bat when the opportunity comes as he hits this one. Here's some college contact right into center field. Lovely will round third and head home. Throw will not be in time as he slides by. He actually almost misses the plate. He had a lot of heat going into that slide, but he reaches his hand out and will touch home. So Lovely will score on the play. He will, as Mackenzie Hicks gets an RBI single there. That'll bring Blake Crossing 4-1 now. The Mariners on the comeback trail with Hicks now on first. Blake Crossing 0 for 1 on the day, but we'll see what the switch hitter can do as he taps this one weakly to third. Throw over, and he will not be able to beat the throw. So 1 run scores there on the 2 hits. No errors. The 1 man left on base as Crossing grounds 5-3. Mariners now trailing only 4-1 though as they've started the comeback trail. Let's see as Courier tries to come out and put up another 0 on the board. Due up for the Settlers, it will be Cale Baker, Eddie Pena, and Kazmir Sabasic. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Courier will return for his 6th inning of work here. He'll be going up against the 8-9 and 1 hitter of the Settlers. Again, the Settlers on top 4-1 here. They have 11 hits, but they have not been able to score since that 4th inning. This is now the top of the 6th. Courier trying to keep the score where it is. So the Mariners, who looked like they may have been able to get something going, finally now back in the 5th. They did get 1 run on a total of 2 hits. Courier will now face against the right-handed Cale Baker as Baker hits this one high into left field, and on the first pitch he is retired. Cale Baker now 1 for 3 on the day, had a home run that got the lead to 4-0 back in the 4th. That was a leadoff. It was on the first pitch too. He just rocketed it to left, and no doubt about it, but here he flies out to left fielder. That'll bring up Eddie Pena. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single back, and the second popped out to short his last time up. As strike called here as it catches the corner. 0-1 now the count quickly here. And Courier, this is like what we saw him in his last couple starts too. It's really just for him, it's been trying to get into rhythm, and he gets better as we get later into games. Let's see if he can continue it there as he misses ball 1 and 1 the count. As here comes the 1-1 pitch. This is cut on and missed there by Pena. Count goes to 1-2. For Courier, in his start against the Leprechauns, he went 4 innings, allowed 4 runs. All of them were earned. And they occurred in the middle of the game. But here he's shown some improvement as though he throws ball 2. 2-2 now the count. For Courier, though, it's just kind of been consistency. Some innings he's been throwing strikes. Some innings he's throwing it too well on the plate, as this one will be solid contact off the bat into left field. R.J. Williams comes underneath it, makes the catch. Second batter retired there by the glove of R.J. Williams. Back-to-back F7s to get 2 outs here. And that'll be the first time here today that the Mariners will get 2 retired to begin an inning. It's either been a leadoff situation or the second man will get aboard. So now with 2 outs here, the left-handed batter and looks at a strike 1 in Kazimir Sabasic. He looks at a strike at the knees. 0-1 now the count here quickly to Courier. Courier will step back on, looks for his sign, trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning of the game as he delivers 0-1. Just missing outside, ball 1. 1-1 now the count. It's a pitch that we've seen called a strike here today, but this one will be called a ball, as that's kind of a borderline pitch. 1-1 now the count here as he delivers, bounces out in front of the plate. Count runs to 2-1. For Kazimir Sabasic, he had a single back in the first, a sacrifice bunt to advance a runner to second in the second inning, and then a walk in the fourth. So here comes the delivery to him. This one is off the bat, right to plate, crosses second baseman, throws it over to first. And that will be the first time that they go in order for the Settlers here in the 6th. The score still 4-1, the visiting team leading, but we head to the bottom of this 6th inning now. Due up will be the top of the order, Hayden Cart, Evan Spry, and Chris Meyer for the Mariners. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hayden Cart, Evan Spry, Chris Myers due up for your Grand Lake Mariners as they trail here at home 4-1 as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning now. So it'll be still on the mound, Caravel, as he steps back on. Oscar Caravel is starting righty for his 6th inning of work. He has so far only allowed the 1 run, and actually has held the Mariners to a pretty tough day, but they did get their 2nd and 3rd hits in the top of the 6th. Let's see if they can get to him here again as Cart swings at the first pitch, pops this into right field, and out of play. That'll go foul. 0-1 now that count here quickly to Cart, who's getting his first chance to show that he could be a leadoff man, and so far he's 0 for 2 on the day. Cart enters this game hitting .250 with a .268. Not typical numbers by your leadoff man, but they're just trying something different, as this one is chopped foul here towards the third base dugout where the visitors sit. Count goes to 0-2 now quickly. Cart is in the hole. I guess they felt with a team that has the worst record in the league, they could try something experimental with the leadoff hitter, as this one is chopped weakly towards the starting pitcher and thrown over to first, 1-3. Cart will be retired for the third time here today. It's an interesting situation. I guess they thought with the worst team in the league they could try something here with Cart, but Cart hasn't been the hottest bat. Normally you'd want a somewhat of a better hitter. As Evan Spry steps in, he's 1 for 2. Had the first hit of the game for the Mariners back in the first with 1 out. It was a single. He steps in batting left against the righty. Not to say that Cart's put up terrible numbers. Hitting .250 is not a bad stat by any means, but there are certainly other bats you could have put at the top of the order. Check swing here does not go around. That's low ball. 1-0 now the count here to Spry, the first baseman. Spry spends a lot of time at first base, but it's not Jake McCall. And Spry has also DH'd as this one breaking ball on the outside corner there. 2-0 now the count here to Spry, trying to get on board for the second time today, and with 1 out trying to get something going for the Mariners. They have yet, this top of the order has really struggled. Only 1 hit for the top 3 thus far, but Spry hits this one high in to left, but it will go foul. Count goes to 2-1 now. Spry was just a little bit behind that one. Had a lot of carry though. As a 2-1 count here, Caravella will deliver strike 2 on the outside corner at the knees. It's that pitch that has been on or off. It's 50-50, depending on how the umpire's feeling. Now the count even up at 2-2. Caravella will deliver the 2-2 pitch here to Spry. Cut on and miss. Spry will go down swinging the second time he struck out today. Now it'll be 2 outs with nobody on. Chris Myers, 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center and then to left his 2 previous times up. He's playing shortstop here today. Also spends time on third base, though, and in the DH spot. But he plays short here today with Crossing on second. Here comes the first pitch to him, and it's low and in the turf. I don't know what it's been with Mariners pitching here. I don't know if they're not seeing the ball well today as the sun continues to set. I don't know if they're not seeing the ball, but that is 4 or 5 times now they've swung at a ball that has been very low. It's actually bounced a little as this one, a breaking ball, misses. 1-1 now the count with 2 outs. I don't know if they're feeling super confident about their bats, as here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low, taking all the way, 2-1. Again, I don't know if it's because they're super confident in their bats after playing the Jazz yesterday, and the way they had 21 hits and just lit up their opponents, or what, but here today they have not shown that kind of performance. They've actually allowed 11 hits and only recorded 3 and 1 out. Taking all the way again, this one low as well. 3-1 now the count here. And Chris Myers trying to get aboard for the first time here today with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Caravella will gather at the waist. Has to throw a strike here. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Oh, just catches the outside of the plate there. Good curve to it. 3-2. The count runs full here to Myers. Here comes the gather. And the payoff pitch is tapped here to first. And taking it himself will be first baseman in Roberts. And that will retire the side in order and on the unassisted ground out. So we will now head to the top of the 7th. Mariners still trailing 4-1. Still some time, though, to try to see if they can't get this one going. Courier will return to the mound for this inning. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So the leadoff hitter for the Settlers will be Dylan Ott, followed by Miguel Pinmiddle, and then Garrett Roberts. But Ott is 0 for 3 on the day with a single back in the fourth. Flew out to right, and then a fielder's choice. Courier returns to the mound here for the 7th inning. He will deliver the first pitch to him. This is high inside. Ball 1-0 now. The count here to Ott, the leadoff man in this inning. 4-1. The Settlers leading here at Montgomery Field. The sun continues to set, begins to cool off. Ott swings and cuts this one towards the screening and out of play. 1-1 now. The count here. 11 hits for the opponents of the Mariners here on the road. They have not been able to do such, as this one is hit right towards Chris Myers, the shortstop. He'll make the catch, and that will retire Ott there. He'll go down for the 3rd time today. He drops to 1-4. Miguel Pinmiddle will step in. He is 1 for 3. He had a single in the first that set up an RBI single for Roberts, but after that he's been unable to get on. He's grounded out and flown out his most 2 recent times up. Mariners trying to just hold this 4-1 lead, see if they can't try a late inning comeback, and here will be the second base hit. This one into left field for Pinmiddle. R.J. Williams will throw this one in. It'll get to second. Pinmiddle will stay at first. Didn't even have a lot of speed. He didn't even look like he was going to try for 2. He just kind of trotted down the line, knowing he would get his base. So that'll be the 12th hit of the day for the visitors on the single with 1 out. Garrett Roberts has yet to be caught out here today. He walked in the 3rd and has had a couple of singles in the 5th and 1st, including an RBI as well. This one low and in the turf there. Ball 1-0 now. The count here to Roberts, the first baseman. Roberts trying to add on to what has been a very good day for him. Check back here to first before the delivery. This will be popped high towards the first base dugout and will just carry out of play as it bangs off the top of the press box here. Count goes to 1-1 now to Roberts. Here comes the look in. Again, the runner on first in Pinmiddle. Get you some of his speed numbers here. He does yet to record stolen base, but here on the wild pitch as this one gets away from Adams, Pinmiddle will advance on the wild pitch there. Again, he just trotted down to second. Pinmiddle does not look like he wants to show any sort of speed. He's on his single. It could have possibly been an attempt at a double, but he trotted down the first base line to go to first. And then on this one, he just trotted from second to first instead of running. Here comes a solid contact here deep into left field. RJ will watch this one go foul, though, and out of play. Count runs even now at 2-2 with 1 out, runner on second. Garrett Roberts trying to get aboard for his 4th time here today, possibly even record his 3rd hit. Courier will try to retire him for the first time. There is somebody up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mariners. I can't hear that. I cannot see it, though, because there is a wall there. As here comes the first pitch. It'll be cut on and missed. Down goes swinging for the first time today. Roberts will be retired. Andrew Loudermilk is up and warming up in the bullpen. Here, there is now 2 away, though. We'll see if the starting pitcher Courier cannot get out of this 7th inning. Courier will look in for his sign. He now goes up against Sam Wilson for the 4th time today. Sam Wilson has 2 singles and a walk, making him 2 for 2 on the day. Runner on first. Here comes the delivery to him. This one bounces out in front of the turf. Logan Adams blocks this one up nicely. Holds the runner at second. Again, Roberts has shown, Pinmiddle has shown no interest in running at all. He just kind of gets a decent lead off, but hasn't shown any sort of ability to run while he's been on the bags. He's just kind of walked to his 2 bases that he's taken. This one is popped high into right center. Cart will call for it. He will step underneath it, make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the top of the 7th. Mariners still trailing 4-1. They'll see if they can't get something going in the bottom of the 7th here. 2 up for them will be McCaw, Adams, and R.J. Williams. Hey, you've been listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube as Carvalho will step back out for his 7th inning of work. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So in their road navy blue jerseys, coming out to try to defend the 4-1 lead, the Settlers will step out. The best way to describe these Settlers jerseys would be the baseball version of the New England Patriot jerseys. They've got that same white numbering and lettering with the borders, same sort of white trim and red detailing. So that's the best way to describe them. Just think of a baseball version of the New England Patriots jerseys. Mariners in their home whites. Here comes the delivery here to McCall, the leadoff man. He looks at a strike on the outside. 0-1 now the count here to McCall, who's 0 for 2 with a struck out swinging earlier. Top of this order is only the first 4 hitters in this orders have, as McCall looks at a fastball on the outside. He's quickly in the count, 0-2. And this starting pitcher in Caravel has done a really good job in neutralizing the Mariners hitters. Nobody has even attempted to get up in the bullpen. So they're just going to let Caravella ride this one out. This one is low. Ball 1. 1-2 now the count here to McCall. 0 for 2 on the day. The one hit in the first 4 hitters of this game for the Mariners came in the first inning from Evan Spry. Other than that, they are not doing very well, as this one is chopped here by McCall high out of play past the third base dugout. Count now goes to 1-2 still. 4-1 Mariners trailing here at home. They're trying to get something going, though. Has a look in here by Caravel. He will gather at the waist. And this is what the Settlers wanted. They wanted their starting pitcher to be able to, as an outside missing here, count evens up at 2-2. They wanted their starter to be able to get going because they've struggled with the bullpen, and their pitching stats are not the greatest. Even Carvella came in with a 7.56 ERA in his 2 previous starts and 8 1/3 inning pitched. He's having a solid start here. 2-2 as this one is fouled past the screen and out of play on the third base dugout side. 2-2 the count remains here to McCall, who might be trying to get something going here in the last third of baseball here in the bottom of the 7th. McCall leads it off. Here comes the pitch to him. This one bounces out in front of the plate. Count runs forward, 3-2. It's also been a very efficient game for Caravella. He has had a total of 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 innings. All of them have recorded at least 1 strikeout in those 1, 2, 3 innings. As this one popped back out of play past the third base dugout towards the parking lot. As it bounces through the parking lot now, somebody will go chase that one down. Count remains full at 3-2. Caravella will gather. Look in, left-handed batter McCall at the plate. Here comes the delivery to him. This one will be solid contact, though, right to the first baseman, who will take it himself, and that will retire McCall after a lengthy at-bat. He will fall to 0-3 on the day, and that'll bring up Logan Adams. He's 1 for 2 with a single in his most recent at-bat. In the 5th, he struck out looking to lead off the 2nd. In the 5th, he led off with a single. That was the 2nd base hit for the Mariners on the day. He bats right here against the righty, and it looks like conversation at least happening in the bullpen now, but Carvella has been very efficient as Adams will tap this one. Coming over will be the shortstop, throwing it over, and that will retire Adams. He will go down on the first pitch, 6-3. That has just been that kind of day for the Mariners. They have yet to get something really solid contact. They've had 3 hits, and Adams' single back in the 5th was a good hit, but got solid contact. But here today, most batters have yet to really get a good hit. They've all been kind of weak ground outs. And that has been to the benefit of Oscar Carvella. As Caravella will look in as showing bunt. Pulling it back will be Williams. 1-0 now the count to him. As Williams trying to show bunt, was trying to see if he couldn't catch him off guard, get a slow dribbler. We've seen that work for Williams here in the season already. He bats left against the righty. Here comes the delivery to him. Good break there. Count now evens up at 1-1 with 2 outs. I'll look in here. Just a second. He will look for the 1-1 pitch. Showing bunt. It works as it goes down the third base side. Throw over to first. It will retire the side. R.J. Williams' bunt does not work. 1-3 there on the ground out. They go in order again for the Mariners as they have failing to try to get anything going here. They are trying, but 1-2-3 inning here as we now head to the top of the 8th. Mariners running out of opportunities as it looks like there will be a change. It'll probably be Andrew Loudermilk coming out to the mound. We'll talk more about it when we come back. 4-1 the score here. Settlers on top here at Montgomery Field. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So, Josh Courier's day is done. The starting lefty went 7 innings pitched. He allowed 4 runs, all of them earned. He gave up 12 hits, 3 walks, and only struck out 2 batters. Tommy Seamer is the new pitcher on the mound, the righty for the Mariners. He is 1-0 on the season. This will be his 4th appearance. He's also had a start as well. From Liberty Township, Ohio. He attends Bluffton, where he'll be entering his junior season there. On the season thus far, he has a .490 ERA and 7 1/3 innings pitched. 1 extra base hit. He has struck out 5 batters and walked 2. Seamer, the new pitcher for the Grand Lake Mariners here in the top of the 8th. If the result holds, Josh Courier will be in line for the loss. It'll be his 3rd of the year. And now, let's see if Seamer can hold this 4-1 deficit and give the Mariners a chance, who have 2 more chances to try to get this one tied or take the lead. It's been a very fast game. We have just over an hour and a half of play here, and we're in the top of the 8th. This one outside, missing, ball 1. Or actually, they call it strike 1. Never mind, it's ball 1. 1-0 now the count officially to the left-handed pit batter. This one high and outside. Seamer missing again. Count goes to 2-0. Seamer not very much of a strikeout pitcher. He does have 5 on the year thus far, but he's really more of a pitch-to-contact guy. As this one outside and high again, he's struggling to find the strike zone here. 3-0 now the count here quickly, as not giving chase is the leadoff batter, Turner Hill. Turner Hill, by the way, 2 for 1, 2 for 3 on the day, as a knee-high fastball there catches the plate, 3-1. A couple of singles for Hill in this game already, including 2 that came with including in the first inning, it came with an RBI, 2 RBIs. Turner Hill will get walked here on 5 pitches. 4-1 the count goes, and he'll take first base. It'll be a leadoff base runner as Austin White now steps in. Seamer struggling to find the zone there on that at-bat. That'll bring up a man who's grounded into 3 double plays in his 3 plate appearances. 2 of them have been 6-4-3. Another has just been 4-3, as the first one was unassisted. Throw back here to first by Seamer. Getting back in time will be Turner Hill. If you're wondering about Hill's speed, only 1 stolen base on the season thus far. He had 11 in college at Malone. Here comes the bunt shown here. Caught there by Seamer. Throw back to first. But it wasn't caught anyway, but he would have been back in time. So that will be a pop back to the catcher on the bunt, or the pitcher on the bunt there. There's 1 away now after the leadoff walk. That'll bring up the catcher, Cale Baker. He's 1 for 3 on the day, but had a home run that gave the Settlers their 4th run back in the 4th. That was a leadoff on the first pitch. That'll be Baker now, the catcher. Here comes the first pitch to him. A little bit outside and low. Adams picks it out nicely. 1-0 now the count with 1 out, runner on first. Mariners trailing 4-1 here at home as the sun continues to set out past right field. Seamer will look in, gather, and deliver the 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. Adams throws. Throw will not be in time. As count now, 1-0 here to number 34, Cale Baker. 2-0 now the count. As the Settlers enjoying a 4-1 lead, they're just excited that they might get their 4th win of the season, as they have the worst record currently in not just the Southern Division, but in the Great Lakes Summer League. Here comes the delivery to him. Knee-high fastball, strike one, 2-1 now the count here. Seamer to Baker. This might be a wake-up call for the Mariners. Again, you knew that they probably weren't going to go the entire season with 21-0 at home, but you would have loved here against the worst team in the league that they would have been able to at least try to sweep them. But there's still time here, as we've got 2 more chances for the Mariners if they get out of this one unscathed. Runner out on second. That one was fouled off out of play past the screen. 2-2 now the count with 1 out. Seamer will look in. He'll check back to second and deliver. Runner goes. This one is hit high, deep to left. It goes just fair. It just lands fair, so Turner got all the way to third. He will score. 5-1 now the score. It'll be an RBI single there by Baker. Hill scored on that play. So 5-1 now the score on the RBI single there by Baker. That'll be the 2nd run he scored here today. 2nd run brought in by his bat. First one was himself on a solo shot in the 4th. That'll bring up a 1-for-3 man in Eddie Pena. Had a single in the 2nd. Other than that, he's popped out to short as he hits contact back to Seamer. Runs it down. Oh, and he runs into Seamer. Throw over to first. They will get him, but Seamer was completely plowed over there from behind by Eddie Pena. So that should be the 2nd out, as Seamer was just trying to come over and make a play on the ball. He was plowed over behind by Pena. The runner does advance to second. No, they're going to actually tell Baker to go back to first, and they're going to say it was a foul ball. Or perhaps they're calling interference. We're going to have a conversation here. We'll figure out what the ruling is officially. Seamer went in, and Pena will be retired as he heads back. The runner cannot advance on interference, and now here comes Charlie Poole, the head coach for the Settlers. He wants to have an explanation. So that was interference on the play. You cannot advance on the interference call. So having to stay on first will be Baker. There are now 2 away as Seamer caught Pena. That was 1-3. That'll bring up Kazimierz Sabasic. He is currently has a walk in the 4th and a single back in the 1st. He grounded out to second his most recent time up with 2 outs. 5-1 the score. The left-handed batter steps in. Fastball on the outside. 1-0 now the count. Seamer will gather. Will throw back to first. Back in time will be Baker. Mariners trailing 5-1 here at home. Bunt shown, pulled back, knee-high fastball called to strike. 1-1 now the count with 2 outs. 5-1 the score. 13 hits, by the way, for the opponents. A very rare occurrence for the Mariners, as they do not allow a lot of hits here at home. This is in the outside part of the plate to the lefty. Count 1-2 now. Seamer trying to get his first strikeout of the day and retire the side, only giving up 1 run thus far. As check-in gets his sign, delivers. This one will be fouled, just tapped to the backstop. It was just kind of a lazy throw, his bat at it there by Sabasic. The man with 1 hit and 1 walk on the day. Count goes to 1-2 with 2 outs. Count remains at 1-2 actually. 5-1 the score. Seamer looks in. Warrior number 6 gathers. The righty will deliver. This one is chopped right over, getting past the diving Hicks into the outfield for R.J. Williams. It'll advance the runner to second as Williams throws it back in. It'll be a 2-out single there for Sabasic. His 2nd time he gets a single here today. It'll be his 2nd hit as well. That'll bring up Dylan Ott. He is 1 for 4 on the day with a single back in the fourth, grounded into a fielder's choice back in the first. He lined out right to short to lead off the 7th inning. This will be his 5th plate appearance. 5-1 the score, runner in scoring position after the 14th hit of the day for the Settlers. Mariners very much in danger of dropping their first home game as this one is delivered. Cut on and missed there by Ott. 0-1 now the count here. Check back here as Seamer will get back on. Looking for his sign. As he gathers. Checks into first. He will deliver to the right-handed batter. And this one is tapped. Hicks will come over, make the play. Throw over to first. It is in time, though it did bounce. And so that will retire the side. That'll be 5-3. Mariners do give up 1 run here in this inning. Off a total of 2 hits. No errors. 2 men were abandoned on the base. Well, the Mariners have 2 chances here to try to get back in this game. They are down by 4, 5-1 the score here. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Due up will be Jaron Lovely, Mackenzie Hicks, and Blake Crossing for the Mariners. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here on YouTube. So coming back out onto the mound for his 8th inning of work will be Caravel, the starting righty. He is trying to do his best to make sure he completes this game and not have to go into the bullpen, which has been a weakness for the just the pitching staff in general. Has kind of been a weakness for the Settlers in general. And so leading off will be Jaron Lovely for the Mariners. He is 0 for 2, grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up back in the 5th. He will look at his first pitch. Solid contact. It'll be a leadoff single as this one gets out into center field. The 4th hit of the day for the Mariners. It comes off the bat of Jaron Lovely. He now advances to 1-3, and that's what the Mariners would love to see as they try to get something going here in the last 2 innings of play. Bringing up Mackenzie Hicks with an RBI single in his last at-bat. Here, he comes up. He's 1 for 2 with that RBI. As looking in to get his sign will be Caravel as he delivers the first pitch. Swung on and missed, and actually Hicks will lose his bat as it goes safely to the backstop. The man in the on-deck circle had to... Good thing there was nobody on the on-deck circle, actually, of the Settlers. If there was, they would have taken that bat right to the stomach. So the count goes 0-1. Don't know why there would be anybody on the on-deck circle for the Settlers. But here comes the delivery to Hicks. Low. Ball 1. The count evens up at 1-1. For the Settlers on the road, talk about their pitching. They have actually had an 8.60 ERA, an 8.60 ERA as Hicks cuts on and misses here, chasing a low one out of the zone. 1-2 now to Hicks. Including allowing 57 earned runs as Caravello will deliver to Hicks. He cuts and misses. He goes down swinging. Hicks just trying to be aggressive there, but swinging at stuff out of the zone. He will drop down for the 2nd time here today. First time he struck out. That'll bring up the second baseman Crossing. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to short, and then grounded out to 5th his only 2 times up. We'll see if he can get something going with 1 out, runner on first, and Lovely. We'll also see how they choose to work with Lovely in his base running. As he goes on the first pitch, he will run, throw, not in time as he slides in there safely. His hand comes off the bag, though, and he will be caught stealing after it comes off. His hand came off the bag. He kind of overslid the bag there just a little bit on the outside. So clear off the base runner. There's It will be 2-6 to play there, as Lovely is caught stealing. So Blake Crossing with 2 outs now. It's 1-0 now to him. The batting left against the righty. He's a switch hitter. As he swings and misses, he'll go down 1-1 now. Also for Licking County, though, it's not a shock that their bats have been hot on the road. They hit 289 on the road to just 220 at home. So they've hit better on the road, but their staff and the pitching is Crossing chops this one back towards the pitcher. Does not get in the glove. 1-2 now the count. Cart will come from the on-deck circle and gather this one up to give it back to the umpire before he returns to the on-deck circle. 1-2 now the count here to Crossing. And Mariners just trying something here to try to keep this one. Otherwise, they're in danger of falling to 9-8 on the season with only one more chance after here. Crossing will get the 1-2 pitch. He will solid contact. This will get into left field. He will have a 2-out single, and the inning will continue for the Mariners as Hayden Cart steps in now. Still nobody up in the bullpen. No need to think there would be. Again, a very efficient day for Caravella overall. Something the Settlers are not accustomed to. They've not seen any sort of action. Nobody's even gotten up and stretched for the Settlers in the bullpen. So with 2 outs now, that'll bring the top of the order. Hayden Cart trying to get his first base hit. He'll look at an inside breaking ball there. 0-1 now the count here. Cart, he is 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded out a couple of times up, struck out swinging back in the third. Runner goes, Crossing runs, throw not in time, or actually they will say they got him, so the throw was just in time. That'll be the second Mariners batter caught stealing here in this inning. This one will be 2-4. And so in this inning, only 3 batters reached. There were 2 hits though. No runs scored. No men left on base. No errors. 5-1. Mariners head to the top of the 9th now, trailing at home. Be right back here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. So the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Settlers here on the road as they lead 5-1. Miguel Pinmiddle and then Garrett Roberts and Sam Wilson due up. Pinmiddle is 2 for 4 on the day with a couple of singles. He also reached second on a wild pitch his most time up. He'll be facing Tommy Seamer coming out for the 9th inning. Here, Mariners will try to hold this to 5-1 and see if they can't come back. Cut on and missed here. And that'll be 0-1 now here to Pimentel. Updates on some scores from around the Great Lakes Summer League. Muskegon Clippers and Lima Locos. As this is strike 2 called at the knees and the corner. 0-2 now quickly the count here to the third baseman, Pimentel. Again, Cincinnati Steam beat the Copperhead 7-5 in the first game of the doubleheader. Here's Pimentel swinging at this one, fouling it off towards the first base dugout. Count remains at 0-2. The Muskegon Clippers and Lima Locos tied at 1 in the bottom of the 7th in Lima. Saginaw Sugar Beets have a 5-0 lead on the road against Lake Erie Monarchs at the top of the 8th. Irish Hill Leprechauns have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 7th over the St. Clair Green Giants. This one hit high, deep to left, carrying and gone. No doubt about it, actually hit the top of the little shed they have back there. And so now 6-1, Pimentel will get the second home run of the game for the Settlers, and the Settlers enjoying a very rare game here in which they lead on the road and actually look like they may comfortably win. Xenia Scouts 7-3 at home against the Richmond Jazz. They lead top of the 7th. Hamilton Joes have a 7-4 lead in Galleon over the Graders on the road. 7-4 the score in that one. Southern Ohio Copperheads in the top of the 3rd lead 5-0 in Cincinnati over the Steam. Those are your scores from around the league. Here comes the first pitch. This one grounded right towards Hicks, who fumbles it, throws it over to first, and he will not be in time. I got to imagine that might be an error there by Hicks. It'll be the first error recorded by either side in E5. So Roberts will reach there on the E5. Runner at first with still nobody out. Mariners are just going to have to... The Mariners just kind of want to shake this one off. If you'll have a chance to tie the series at 1-1 tomorrow and go into a Saturday in which they have off back in the win column as throw here missing outside. Ball 1-0 now the count here. To Sam Wilson, the designated hitter. He is 2 for 3 on the day with a walk as well in the first. He's a couple singles. Flew out his most recent time up. He cuts and misses on this one. Goes 1-1 now. Thank you all for listening here. We are going on an hour and 50 minutes of play here. Live from Salina, Ohio, Montgomery Field on a warm one. The sun continuing to set. It's been a very quick game as Seymour will deliver. This one chopped foul towards the third base dugout. Count goes to 1-2 now to Sam Wilson. The score 6-1 here. Mariners trailing. They gave up 15 hits. They've only recorded 5. They've also gave up 1 error on Mackenzie Hicks playing third base here today. Again, Hicks is normally a pitcher, but they do play him in the field. But here today, we've seen a little bit of an instance in where he's not used to playing third base. Had to make a couple of diving plays that have just gotten past his glove. Hasn't done a terrible job. It's not like every play has been bad, as this one picked up nicely there on low and outside. Almost got past Adams, but he gathered that one in nicely. Holds Garrett Roberts, not a runner at all, but he's gotten a lot of plate appearances as he's actually reached bags safely 4 straight times. This one popped high into shallow right. Crossing will come back, make the catch. Great run down there by Crossing because Lovely was not going to be able to run in and get that one. That will retire the first hitter of the ninth inning as Sam Wilson will go out to Crossing's glove. The second baseman. That'll bring up Turner Hill. He walked back in the 8th. He's also 2 for 3 on the day. 2 RBI single in the first, and then a single in the third. He flew out to left in the 5th. Here comes the first pitch to him. This will be missing there. Ball 1-0 now. Seymour still on the mound, the righty. Just trying to complete this one for the Mariners. Still have one more chance to try to see if they can do anything. As check swing doesn't matter. It's called a strike anyway. 1-1 now the count here to number 2, Turner Hill, the right fielder. 1-1 here. Seymour will deliver. Low inside. Ball 2, 2-1 now the count. 1 out. Runner on first. Hill batting left against a righty. Here comes the first pitch to him. Runner goes. This one will get away from Adams, but it actually, I believe, ended up hitting Hill anyway, so he'll be hit by a pitch. And so now with only 1 out, runner on first, runner on second. 6-1 the score. Mariners trailing here at home. Going to bring up Tommy Seymour. Will go up against now Austin White. He is 0 for 4 on the day. The only player for the Settlers not to record a base hit. In fact, he's grounded into 3 double plays. And most recently popped out on a bunting attempt. A knee-high fastball here. Strike 1. 0-1 now the count to Seymour, who caught the bunt attempt that was high. Seymour had to dive in for that one. He came in, got it though, to record an out, the first out in that 8th inning. Last chance here for this man as this one gets away here from Adams. Runner will head to first and second as Adams gathers it up. Runners both now in scoring position. The count 1-1 here to White. His last chance to try to get a hit and make sure that the entire lineup gets a hit for the Settlers. That was a wild pitch there on Seymour. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Seymour will look in to the right-handed batter to get his sign from his catcher. Gather and deliver here. Swung on and missed it. Something low there. 1-2 now. White went fishing, and he came up with nothing. Nothing but his bait. 1-2 now the count with 1 out. Seymour will deliver the 1-2 pitch. High. Ball 2. 2-2 now the count here. to Tommy Seamer. Mariners trailing 6-1 here. Runner on second, runner on third, 2-2. 1 out. Evened up count now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt, blocked up there nicely by Adams. Count runs full now at 3-2. Seamer just trying to get that last out. In fact, Austin White would love to get aboard. He'd at least make sure that every Settlers pitcher or Settlers batter got aboard this game. Seamer in danger now of loading up the bases as he delivers the payoff pitch, low and in the dirt. And that will load up the bases. Austin White will get aboard for the first time today on the walk. We'll bring up Cale Baker, the catcher, had a home run back in the 4th inning to lead it off on the first pitch. He shot it out to left, never looked back. Had an RBI single back in the 8th. And that is why, part of the reason why we're looking at a 6-1 lead, as he got to Seamer. The first run Seamer gave up, he's given up 2 thus far. First pitch to him, just missing inside. Seen it called a strike here today, but not this time. 1-0 now the count. Seamer, with the bases loaded, tries to get himself out of a jam. A double play would be nice here. This one will miss inside, I guess, again. 2-0 the count now. Seamer not getting any favorable calls from the umpire. Behind the plate and behind Adams. Adams gives the sign. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. This one will be low, outside. Ball 3. And Baker looking to bring in his 3rd run. This time will be on the walk. Baker will step back in, batting right. 3-0 now the count. I guess Seamer, one of his buttons came undone on the pitch, so he'll have to fix his uniform before he steps back on. Here comes the 3-0 delivery. Wow, missing just a bit outside. So no favorable calls here for Seamer. That'll bring in the 7th run of the game. There'll be an RBI walk there for Baker. Eddie Pena 1 for 4 on the game with a single back in the 2nd. Other than that, it's been 3 straight outs after that. Conversation on the mound here between head coach Hacker and pitcher and catcher Adams and Seamer. Again, 1 out here, so a double play ball would be the preferred result for Seamer, as Eddie Pena will step in. He bats right, wearing number 1. He'll be going up against the righty out of the bullpen. If this result holds, Oster Caravel will be in line for the win. Of course, the loss will be given to Josh Courier, his 3rd of the year. Here comes the first pitch. High inside, ball 1. So a strike zone that has been very fluid and kind of loose all game, wide as well, is now tightened up here for Seamer in this 9th inning. Here comes the delivery. This one will miss inside again. I don't know if my vision has just changed or what, but these, I swear, were pitches that were called strike earlier in this game. Seamer not getting the call now. 2-0 here quickly as Seamer is in a bit of a jam. He will deliver the 2-0 pitch. That'll finally be called strike on the high inside corner there at the belt. 2-1. I think the umpire finally woke up. 2-1 now the count with 1 out. Here comes delivery. Catching the plate on the inside there. Strike 2. The count evens up at 2-2. Reminder that the Mariners and the Settlers will be back at it again tomorrow, which is Friday for you not paying attention to the calendar. High fly ball deep to right. Lovely will come in, make the catch. Tagging and heading home will be the man on 3rd. And scoring will be Turner Hill. So the count goes now 8-1 on the sacrifice RBI there. Be a sac fly RBI for Pena. He will get his first RBI of the game. That will go back to the top of the order with 2 away now. Kazmir Savasic will come up. Couple of singles for him, including one most recently in the 8th, and then a walk back in the 4th. 8-1 the score here. At the top of the 9th, Seamer will look in, get his sign. Goes up against the left-handed batter. This one's solid contact, though, right to plate, crossing, scoops it up, throws it over to first. The side is finally retired. 4-3 there, but not before 3 runs score on a total of, on just 1 hit. Believe it or not, there was 1 error, 1 runner left aboard. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. 8-1. Mariners have one more chance here, but it's against the odds as we now head to the bottom of the ninth. Don't go anywhere, as it looks like Oscar Carvela will come back out to try to complete the game. Be right back here on YouTube. So it'll be Caravel trying to come out and get the complete game. It would be his first complete game of the season here in his third start. Wearing number 27, the starting righty, will be going up against the top of the order. Hayden Cart, Evan Spry, Chris Myers try to get something going here, as it is a long road back if they want to try to make this one a game. 8-1 in the bottom of the ninth. Let's see what Cart can do. Cart is 0 for 3 on the game with a strikeout swinging in the third. He's grounded out his other 2 times up. He'll look at a low fastball there. Ball 1-0. We are just at 2 hours of play. I'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in. The Mariners, unfortunately, trailing here at home. They've given up 15 hits, only had 5. Cart will look at the exact same pitch, low and outside again, 2-0. Again, Carvela in the 9th inning of work for him. Nobody up in the bullpen for the Settlers, so they are fully confident since he has had a very efficient game. He has had a total of 6 innings. His first inning of work, as this is 3-0 now. Cart gonna get something favorable to swing at here, or might just want to take his walk and try to get aboard the first time today. Here comes the pitch to him. He takes all the way, strike 1 at the knees fastball, 3-1. It was the first inning which had a single with 1 out. Only went 4 batters, and then the Mariners scored their only run off the bat of Mackenzie Hicks. As cut and swinging there will be Cart. He went chasing, he was trying to be aggressive. Just take the walk. 3-2. The count now full. Caravel will gather, and here comes the payoff pitch. Popped high here by Cart into foul territory, running, making chase. We'll see, went out of my vision. And I believe it'll get out of play. It will. Cart will stay alive at 3-2. Again, I can see most of right field, but basically there's a wall cutting off my view of the bullpen and right up to the fence, so not a lot I can see over there. But the count remains full for 3-2. Here comes Cavella to deliver. Cart will swing. High fly ball into left. It will be caught there by the left fielder as he almost ran into his shortstop, but making the catch will be Ott. That will retire Cart. He will go home today with no hits. F7 there. That'll bring up Evan Spry. He is 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts in his most recent at-bats, but he had a single with 1 out in the first. He's 1 for 3. He'll be trying the left-hander to get his second base hit, try to keep this inning going with 1 out, though. He looks at the first pitch. It'll be low in the turf. Ball 1-0 now. Count with 1 out to Spry. Nobody on. Looks in. Spry. Here comes the pitch to him on the 1-0. Outside. Ball 2-0 now the count. Mariners in danger now of falling to 4-1 at home. You knew their perfect home record wasn't going to last forever, but you would have hoped that they could have come back and tried to keep it going, but perhaps, again, playing on the road for 8 straight games, you forget you have to get used to playing at home. There is a certain feel to just playing at home, and this has not been their best home game as he looks at strike 1 here. 2-1 now the count here to Spry. As here comes the delivery from Caravella. Outside, ball 3. Spry being patient here, not chasing. 3-1. Spry will step in, batting left against the starting righty here in his 9th inning of work. He's already recorded the first out. Here comes the pitch. Wow, looked low and outside, but they're going to give him the favorable call. The count runs full at 3-2. Umpire might be ready to go home. 3-2 now. Looking in is Caravella. Caravella will gather. And here comes the payoff pitch. Popped back and foul. I think it went off of Spry's foot as he is kind of limping a little bit. He's got to walk that one off. It's a stinger. He just walks it off, kind of gets it back. He's still hobbling a little bit, but sure it'll be bruised here later today, but he'll be fine. 3-2 still the count here to Spry, the left-handed batter. He is just like Cart, he's gotten a 3-2 pitch. Let's see what he does here with it. A check in here. And here comes the second 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4, so Spry will get aboard with 1 out to bring up Chris Myers. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Most recently grounded out to first. Other than that's been a couple walkouts. And we'll see how aggressive, though, here they are. But only 2 times they've tried stealing, the Mariners have both been caught. That was Blake Crossing and Jaron Lovely were both get caught. We'll see if they're aggressive here with Spry, or if they'll just keep him at first and only go if they feel favorable. But behind the plate, Baker has a good arm. He reminds me of Tyson Hayes. You don't want to try to run on him, as he has proven himself here today. Again, the Mariners will be up against the Settlers, try to even up the series tomorrow. And so, stepping in will be Myers. It'll be a 7:05 first pitch for that one as well. Catching the outside of the plate there on the curveball. 0-1 the count now with 1 out. Settlers and Mariners here from Montgomery Field. Second of 3 home games. Straight home games. This one, solid contact. Gets out into center field. They'll hold Spry up at second. And it'll be a 2-out single for Myers. That'll be his first base hit of the game. He'll go to 1-4. That'll bring up Jake McCall, an 0 for 3 man. Struck out swinging his first time up. And a couple of ground outs, including to first his last time up. He'll try to keep this inning going with 1 out. He'll step in, the left-handed batter. I'm actually surprised they didn't pinch hit for Hayden Cart to start out this inning. Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. I think this will end the day for Caravella. They'll go ahead and put in a bullpen guy. Conversation here. They haven't taken the ball from him yet. Only 1 out, though. Clouds have begun to roll in, but the sun is also setting. They're not ominous clouds. They're just kind of light wispy clouds that cover a little bit of a overcast. Not even a lot of them. Conversation continues. They're going to leave Caravella out there with runner at first, runner at second. And so that'll be Jake McCall trying to keep the inning going for the Mariners. He's 0 for 3. Mariners trying to make a comeback here in the bottom of the 9th. Crazier things have happened in baseball. There is no time limit in baseball. So it's not like they're trying to beat out the clock here. They're just trying to make sure. As this one is at the knee. Fastball on the corner there. 0-1 now here quickly to McCall. 1 out. Runner on second. Evan Spry. Runner on first. Chris Myers, the shortstop. Look back here to second. They will deliver to McCall. Swung at it. Picked up there by the shortstop. He bobbles it. Throw over to first. Not in time. The bases are loaded. That'll be an E6 there. The first error committed. Bases loaded now for Logan Adams. So, E6 there. After it was bobbled by the shortstop and Pena. And now that will complete the day here for Caravella. It could have been a double play ball. But instead an error keeps the inning going with the bases loaded. Base runners are going to have a conversation as Caravella will leave. Caravella will leave the game after 8 1/3 inning. The book is not closed on him. He went 8 1/3, allowed 6 hits. I'll get you his final numbers here in a second. Or as the new pitcher on the mound, we'll talk about him when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Mariners trying to mount a comeback in the bottom of the 9th. Only 1 out. 8-1 the score. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. So the new pitcher on the mound is Gray Harmon with the bases loaded. 8-1 the score, though. One ground ball could end the game, but the Mariners have a bases loaded situation after the E6 by Pena, the shortstop, allowed McCall to reach and prevented the double play. That'll bring up Logan Adams. He is 1 for 3 with a single back in the fifth. But a little bit more on Gray Harmon, the new pitcher, 1-0 on the season with a 3.24 ERA. This will be his 5th appearance of the season. He's gone 8 1/3 thus far. He struck out 11 and walked 11. He tends Xavier, a college in Cincinnati, where he had 3 appearances, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, and a 13.50 ERA. Let's see if he can get the Xenia Scouts out of this, or if Logan Adams can keep the inning going. Solid contact with the ball here. Could drive in two with Chris Myers some space. Here comes the right-handed batter in Logan Adams trying to keep it going. 8-1 though. It's still a long trail, but the Mariners have a spark here in the bottom of the. It's a left-handed pitcher. Delivers to him. Missing high. Ball 1. 1-0 here to Adams. Again, Gray Harmon, the left-handed pitcher on the mound, attended Columbus Academy before he went to Xavier. A check in here for Harmon. He will deliver. Low. Ball 2. 2-0 here. Adams being very patient, not chasing anything thus far. 2-0 here to Adam. Logan batting right against the lefty. Harmon will gather at the belt and deliver the 2-0 pitch. High. Ball 3. Adams didn't chase. Now it'll have to be a strike, or Adams will get himself an RBI with a walk. Adams 1 for 3. Check in. Harmon will gather at the belt. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. And so the Mariners draw within 6. That'll be the first run scored in this inning, and the bases remain loaded, as coming in will be Evan Spry. That is 1 eliminated from the books, as it'll be the second earned run given up by the starting pitcher and Caravel. So RBI walk there by Adams. That'll bring up R.J. Williams. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts to his name. Batting left against the lefty. Runner on third is Myers. Runner on second is McCall. Reached on the error. Strike 1 here to to Williams. He looks at it. 0-1 now here to Williams. Wearing number 4, the left fielder, batting left. Left-handed pitcher on the mound. Harmon gathers at the belt. He delivers the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 at the knees. 0-2 now here to Williams. Almost surprised it wasn't a pinch hitter for Williams in this situation, but they have enough confidence in him. It's a man who can draw his walks, and he enters with an over 400 on-base percentage, only a 250 hitting percentage, so 0-2. 1 out here to Williams. Time called here by R.J. Williams. He'll tap the bat to his feet a couple of times, step back in, and here comes the look in, the gather here by Harmon. Runner on, bases are loaded. Here comes the pitch to Williams. Low into the turf. This will allow another one to score on the wild pitch. Coming in to score will be Chris Myers. And so the Mariners now within 5. Runner advances to second and Adams, and McCall now on third. McCall is the last batter responsible for Caravel. The starting pitcher went 8 1/3. Checking in is Harmon. Score now 8-3. R.J. Williams has a 1-2 count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Tapped and will dribble and go foul. R.J. Williams a little bit lucky there, as that one was weakly tapped off the plate down the first base line, but rolled foul. 1-2. Mariners not giving up yet. They put up a 2 spot already to bring it back within 5. If Williams were to reach safely, provided there's no double play either, Jaron Lovely would be due up next. A look in, a gather, and the 1-2 pitch to Williams. Chopped towards the second baseman. That'll allow one run to score. He bobbles it. Williams will beat out the throw. The inning continues for the Mariners. They've scored 3 now. That'll be the second error. This one will be on the second baseman. And now the score is 8-4. No quit for the Mariners. And the book is closed. That will not be an earned run. So McCall reached on the error. So 4 runs allowed for on Oscar Caravel. Only 3 were earned. The book is closed as RJ reaches on the E4. That'll bring up Jaron Lovely. He is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He was caught stealing in his most recent time up. Runners at the corners. Adams at third. RJ at second. High, ball 1. Wow. Even if the Mariners don't walk away with a win in this one, you still have to admire their effort and no quit. But if you were listening in the dugout below me, if you could hear it, unfortunately my crowd mic is malfunctioning. So I'm unable to get you crowd noise, but they are going crazy in the dugout below us. 1-0 now the count here to Lovely, the right fielder. He is 1 for 3. After him, as long as there's no double play, would be Mackenzie Hicks, who can deliver some power. Again, a grand slam would tie it, but right now only 2 on at the corners. First pitch to him, high, ball 2. 2-0 now the count here to Lovely, not chasing. With only 1 out, R.J. Williams on second, or on first. On third is Logan Adams. Runners at the corners. Left-handed batter, Jaron Lovely. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Knee-high fastball, 2-1 now here to Lovely. Looks back into his dugout to get a sign before stepping back on. Jaron Lovely had a single his last time up before being caught stealing. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Lovely swings, pops this one back out of play. The count runs even at 2-2. 8-4 the score. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Mariners have at least made it interesting so far with runners at the corners. As somebody already up and throwing in the bullpen for the Settlers. As Lovely gets the throw back to first, RJ dives back in time. Williams gets in there safely. 8-4. Mariners have recorded a total of 1 hit in this inning, but a couple of walks, including an RBI. This one, solid contact into left field. That will allow Logan Adams to score. And the count now, and the score now, 8-5. Mariners with some heart here in the bottom of the 9th as the inning continues. And boy, Harmon, as I said, the bullpen not the strong suit for the Settlers, and Harmon is proving that here. Knocking on some wood. 8-5 the score. Runner at first, runner at second. R.J. Williams, runner on second after the RBI single by Lovely, who now stands on first. That'll bring up Mackenzie Hicks. He is 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI single right now. He bats right. Here comes the left-handed pitcher to deliver to him. Knee high at the corner on the inside. Strike 1 to Hicks. 0-1. 8-5 the score. 7 hits for the Mariners, 15 for their opponents. Mariners within 3 now. Here comes the next pitch to him. Hicks high into foul territory, running over, making he catches it, so R.J. Williams will advance to third after the catch into foul territory. Runners at the corners now, but Mariners are down to their last strike. So the first baseman Roberts runs over, makes the catch at the fence. 8-5 the score. That'll bring up Blake Crossing. A home run here from Crossing would tie the game. He doesn't have a home run, but a solid base hit would bring the Mariners back within 2. Actually, any base hit would bring the Mariners back within 2. Mariners not showing any quit. Harmon will deliver the first pitch to him. High inside. Ball 1. 1-0 now. 8-5 the score. Runners at the corners. R.J. Williams sits at third. Jaron Lovely sits at first. Here comes the delivery. Inside, ball 2 to Crossing again. The switch hitter batting right against the left-handed pitcher. Up and throwing in the bullpen, I believe, is number 3, Cannon Duke, for the Settlers. Now it is a safe situation if Duke were to enter. But first, Harmon will try to get himself out with 2 outs now. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Crossing. Inside, catches the plate there, 2-1. Those who decided to stay here, there was a decent crowd pulled out to Montgomery Field. Those who decided to stay are getting a nice treat here as the Mariners have provided a spark. Here comes the pitch to Crossing. Checks the swing, but it'll tip off his bat and towards the backstop. 2-2. He should have held up on that one, but now the Mariners are down to their last strike. 8-5 the score. We'll see if Crossing can keep it alive. He gives his bat a nice talking to, steps back in to the right-handed batter's box, going up against the left-handed Harmon. Harmon looks in for his sign, gathers at the waist, delivers the 2-2 pitch, hit well, into right, running over is the right fielder, it drops for a base hit, rounding and heading home will be R.J. Williams, going to third will be Jaron Lovely. It is now 6-2, Crossing with an RBI single. The inning continues, and Hayden Cart will step back in. They'll give him one more chance, but we're going to have a conversation, a meeting on the mound, and it looks like they will make the move to the bullpen. It's a save situation, 8-6, and we'll talk about the new pitcher when we come back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball. Comeback trail is on with 2 outs, 8-6 the score. We'll see what happens. Don't go anywhere. We've got a thriller. The new pitcher on the mound is Cannon Duke. It's a save situation now with runners at the corners. A home run would walk it off, but right now just a base hit to bring him back within 1. It is Blake Crossing. Actually, correction, is Jaron Lovely on third. Blake Crossing, after the RBI single to bring it back within 2, is on first. I do believe I see Steven Fitzsimmons will be hitting for Hayden Cart. He is in the on-deck circle. But first, a little bit on Cannon Duke, the right-hander. He has 4 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's allowed 3 extra base hits. This will be his 6th appearance on the year. A 7.50 ERA. And Lovely and Crossing are still the responsibility of the second hitter in Gray Harmon, or the second pitcher in Gray Harmon. That'll bring up Steven Fitzsimmons, number 11, pinch hitting, Golden Valley. He is 133, but with a 316 on-base percentage. Hayden Cart went 0 for 4 on the day. You can understand the move here for one of their designated hitters. As stepping on, Duke will deliver the first pitch. It's a weird sidearm, strike 1 at the knees, 0-1. Cannon Duke has got a sidearm pitch. It's one of those weird kinds. He's a right-handed pitcher. He'll be trying to get the save here now for the Settlers as it is 8-6. Here comes the second pitch to Fitz. High fly ball into center. Doesn't even go that deep. Running in, and it drops for a base hit! Rounding is Blake Crossing. He will go to third. And safely it is now 8-7. The Mariners continue the comeback trail. Indecision there between the shortstop and the first baseman results in Jaron Lovely able to come in and score. 8-7. 9 hits now for the Mariners. The Mariners within 1 of tying it. A wild pitch would tie it. 8-7. Fitzsimmons gets himself an RBI single. as Spry steps in. Spry walked in his last time up. Ball 1. 1-0 now the count. He's also has a single back in the first. Here would tie it up. Spry left-hander going up against the righty pitcher. Outside, ball 2. With 2 outs, runners at the corners. Fitzsimmons at first. He pinched hit Furcart and crossing with an RBI single. He's the last run responsible as here comes the 2-0. Outside corner at the knees, ball 1. A base hit would tie it here for Spry. Looking in will be the pitcher. Outside, ball 3. Again, this pitcher on the mound is Cannon Duke. This will be the second batter he faced. Spry walked previously. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Spry. Outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. 8-10. A base hit, a good base hit could be the walk-off. Chris Myers has a base hit in this inning, a single. And so with 2 outs, bases loaded. Even if they don't win, what a run for the Mariners.